Hey my friend, this is Joe Bakhmoutski, author of Simplify Cancer and founder of Power to Be Happy. Listen, as we're talking about making hope happen to guide you through a really dark time, we know that the struggle is real. We know that the daily struggle we go through, we gotta have hope, we gotta build it up. And we've talked about how we can do that along the way. But you know what? In many ways, it's crucial to build up that hope to make you reach for those goals, make you realize those aspirations that you might have. And your goals might be different. Maybe your goal could be, write a book, or maybe finish a PhD, or maybe it's find a job that you don't hate, that would be cool, right? Or you might have also aspirations. You might have aspirations that just to be free of debt. Or maybe your aspiration could be being a great parent. Like that's a pretty big deal, right? So we know that in some ways, the reason why I say that in some ways it's even harder to kind of maintain hope and get there with your goals and aspirations is because, it might take a long time. And we know that whenever we have a goal or there's just a great ambition that you want to live up to, we know that the reality is that you're going to have challenges along the way. You're going to get things that are going to try to stop you from getting there. There are going to be challenges that you're going to have to overcome. You have to kind of figure out a way around that. And we can't do that with motivation alone. Because I think that is the bane of our culture today. We always talk about just kind of this willpower and this motivation to just crush it and just make things happen and just power on through regardless. I just don't think that's real. I don't think that's real. That's not enough. It's a great way to have to start out with that. To be driven, to move towards your goals or to try and realize your ambitions. But that kind of mentality is not enough. It's a great thing to have. It's a great thing to kind of maintain and have that willpower to help you along the way and to kind of reach you forward. But at the same time, we gotta also have something that keeps you going, keeps you strong, keeps you strong within yourself. And that's where hope comes in. Because hope comes from a different place. Hope is not loud, hope is not in your face. And that's why probably hope doesn't really sell, right? In our society, that's why no one talks about it as much as we should. But hope is a really humble feeling. It comes from our humility. It comes from a quiet place in us, like introspective almost. Quiet and introspective, where you know that you are enough. Knowing that you, yourself, that you are enough. And that you have enough in yourself to figure out your way around problems, around obstacles, around challenges that will inevitably come up when you try to reach for your goals or when you try to realize your ambitions and make those dreams of yours come true. We know that those challenges are going to come about. We know that those things are going to happen. And that's why we know that we should also, when you know that you are enough, you know that you can expect great things from yourself. And when you know that you can expect the best from yourself, you also want to make those realistic expectations about where you're going in life. And that includes dealing with challenges. Because we know those challenges are going to come up. And that's why we want to manage your own expectations. We know that those challenges are going to be there, so let's plan for that. Let's plan on how we can find a way to really be real and meet your own expectations of greatness and the challenges that come along the way. So what I would want to really ask you to do is to come up with 3 challenges that you know are gonna come about on your way to your goal. The 3 challenges that might come up on your way to realizing the ambition that you have inside you. You know, for example, you might have the goal of maybe climbing the Himalayas. Well, you know that's probably a goal that's something that's going to happen sometime in the future. Well, you know that there could be a number of challenges that are going to come up. First thing is, you might not have the money to do it, right? Because it takes money to, probably fly up there. It takes money like accommodation, get some gear. I don't know, you probably need some gear. You might need a guide or some sort of a group that you're gonna go along with. So it's gonna cost a bit of money. And if you don't have that right now, and if you know that that's gonna be a problem, then we gotta plan for that, right? We gotta maybe start saving up, maybe putting a little bit of money aside each week, so that maybe in 3 years' time you have enough money to do this, to realize your goal, right? That's one problem that could come up. We know that it's a challenge and you can plan for it. You can manage those expectations for yourself so that you don't get sidetracked along the way. The second thing that might come up for you is maybe you don't have anyone to go with you. You don't have a companion. Or maybe you want to go and do that with, someone else by your side. Well, maybe now is the time to start looking for that person. Maybe start to just talking about that dream with your friends, with people you work with. Maybe it's just people that you interact with, and you might connect with someone on some level who wasn't maybe in your life before. You might just connect with them. Maybe they had a dream like that as well. So that could be a great thing, and you know that that's going to come up, but yet you find a way to bring someone else along with you on that journey. Another thing that might come up for you, for example, number 3, is maybe you're not physically prepared. If you're going to climb the Himalayas, you want to be in a good shape, right? So maybe you can start preparing for it now in whatever way that works for you. Maybe you're going to go on a bushwalk every single week. Maybe you're gonna start jogging. Maybe you're gonna start doing some kind of training, right, to get you on the way. What I'm trying to say is, the challenges are gonna come your way. That is a question of when and not if. And that's why it's so crucial to meet your own expectations, so that you set the expectations up high and then you rise up to meet them. That is the whole idea of knowing what to expect, expecting those challenges to be there, and finding a way to meet those challenges and to mitigate them and prevent them from happening, or perhaps finding a way around them. Now, here is another example. If we're talking about an ambition, if you have an ambition that you really want to realize, you might have an ambition to be a great mom or to be a great dad. That's not as easy as it sounds, right? Because there's a lot of things going on. And I think that is an incredible ambition to have. I certainly have that ambition. But I know if I want to be a great dad, there's things going to come up. There's going to be challenges. There are going to be obstacles along the way. So what are those things? Well, I know that one of the things that might really come up is, you might snap at your child someday and say, and just, and scream at them or something, that's what can happen. Sometimes we all get busy, we get frustrated, and maybe you say something that maybe like you didn't want to say, get them upset a little bit, that can happen. What happens in that case? Because we know that will happen, right? So what are we going to do? Well, I know that when I thought about this, I want to be able to then talk to my child and be able to sit down with them and say, look, this is what happened. I'm sorry, I kind of went off at you and I was maybe shouted at you or whatever. I'm sorry, here is what happened, and I'll try my best not to do it again, right? That's one thing that you can realistically do it in your life. The second thing that might come up for you is, that there might be a challenge that kids won't do as you tell them to do, right? That's rare. No, I'm kidding. It happens all the time, right? We know that they never do what you tell them to do, or what you want them to do at least, right? So we know that that's going to happen. Right, that's always going to be the case. So we gotta play around that. When you set out some sort of a rule and they don't follow it, like what do you do then? Do you tell them about it? If so, how? The next thing that might come up is like the third thing could be that maybe you don't do what you promised to do with them on that day. Maybe you said you're gonna do this and something they've been really looking forward to, but maybe something came up and you got busy and you couldn't fulfill your promise. Again, that happens, right? That's real life. So what is something that you can do realistically about that if you know that it's going to come up? Could you come up to them and say, hey, I'm sorry that happened. Could we do that tomorrow? Could we do that next weekend? And here is why it happened, and like let's try to work around that. See, I think it's all about knowing that you deep inside yourself that you are enough. That you are not only enough, you are capable of greatness. You have enough inside you to achieve true greatness in whatever way that means for you. So we gotta set those expectations, and also gotta set the expectations with respect to obstacles and challenges that are gonna come up along the way to your goals and to your ambitions. And then we're gonna, once we know that, once we expect them, because we know that it's a matter of when and not if, we know what some of those challenges are, we can anticipate them. And then we can talk about at least 3 of them for each kind of goal or ambition that we know that we have, and that means we can plan for it, and we are prepared, and we can work our way around it, so that we can reach those goals, we can realize those ambitions, and they will not get sidetracked. And that's where hope comes in. Hope that you are enough and that you can do that, and that you are able to stick with yourself, and that things you will work out the way, because that's how it is, my friend. You will find a way because you are enough. That's how you make hope happen. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Joe Bakhmoutski. I'll see you soon.